The best of Money Matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo, find the gap in the market to find the right business. Hello, I'm Hongbin Jeong. For many women, doing her nails is more than just a beauty routine. It's a form of self-care, a creative outlet, and a way to express who we are without saying a word. Whether it's a bold red for confidence or soft nude for elegance or intricate designs that reflect our personality, our nail choices often speak volumes. And yet, it's not often that we find nail products that feel truly personal. That's where Nail Deck comes in, making nail color customizable, inclusive, and deeply expressive so that everyone can wear shades that actually feel like them. So to share more about how Nail Deck is making nail care personal and meaningful, joining us today is Daryl Chew, who's a founder of Nail Deck. Hi, Daryl. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Hongbin. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Well, Daryl, the nail industry is often associated with women, both as a primary audience and the people behind most of the brands. So what has your journey been like breaking gender norms in this space? Was there a personal experience that inspired the birth of Nail Deck?
It's not as exciting as it sounds.
Okay.
Like I started it as a uni student.
Okay.
And I really wanted to solve a problem for my girlfriend back then, who's my wife now. So it started that way because she was trying to buy some nail polish from the US. And long story short, it was not easy to do that back then in 2011. So I started a company and became the distributor for the brand that she wanted to get.
Oh, wow. What was her response when you told her,
I think at that point, I was part of this entrepreneurship program in my school in NUS. So I was already just kind of trying to figure out if I could start a business. And so, what they taught us was try to solve a problem. And, as a 20, 21-year-old, you don't really have a lot of problems, or you don't have the life experiences to know. And so it was a problem she was experiencing, and I was like, hey, maybe I should start a business around this and try it out. I was a student, so it was just meant to be a side income, side hustle kind of thing, and one thing led to another. Social media helped a lot back then as well. From one brand, I started importing more. We got more and more customers, and eventually I had like 15 indie brands from the US, from Europe and Australia and Japan, and I just started importing them, and the demand was there. So it was fun and easy to start with because I managed to crack a little bit of that supply chain problem of importing nail polish in because it's a flammable substance. So it was just a lot of paperwork, and I kind of managed to find my way around that.
No wonder she's like, this is the man for me. I'm going to marry this man. Well, but I'm sure you faced a lot of challenges. You mentioned that back there that, nail polish is a flammable object. So what were some of the challenges, especially because you are a male and you probably, I don't know if you do nail polish for yourself, but you did mention that this was primarily because of your girlfriend. So did you do a lot of research? What was some of the challenges that happened in the initial part of founding your company?
Yeah, so to preface that, I was very interested in colors already.
Okay.
One of the things I was trying to do as a business back then was to do custom paint for bicycles. So I was already looking into it. It's just, it was a really small market. Custom bicycles is not there weren't many customers for that. So I was already kind of very interested in the psychology of color and the effect that it has on people. And through the nail industry, I learned about color theory, about skin tones.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was, where, I started really getting, more and more interested. I wasn't interested in the nail aspect itself. I was more interested in the color. And what I had noticed was that a lot of the brands that I brought in, like OPI, China Glaze, a lot of the American or European brands, I felt that they were very suited to the fairer, cooler tone Caucasian skin tones, which, it's not the majority here. So I was looking at that as an opportunity and a problem that I could solve as well, in terms of catering nail colors to the Asian demographic or the Southeast Asian demographic.
Well, given your interest in colors as well, you've launched Nail Deck in 2011 long before personalization and custom beauty became buzzwords. So why did you feel that, personalization and custom beauty was important in the nail industry as well?
So again, this, all goes back to my personal experiences. Along with the bicycle paint, I was also trying to create a custom bicycle platform. So where you could customize your wheels, your handlebars and things like that. So I was, again, very interested in personalization. I just felt that I imagined what life would be like in the future. And I can't imagine a world where somebody would want something to be less personalized or less customized. And so I thought, okay, that's a good theory, a good hypothesis to follow along. And if I, follow along this trajectory of offering personalization and customization, from a business point of view, that could be a safe path to take because of the way we are as humans.
Right. Do you think it was an underappreciated industry of, personalization and colors? Because you did mention that a lot of these brands, they cater to the Western market and not so much in the Asian perspective. So do you think that's why it was very underappreciated with the colors and that matches the Asian beauty?
I think my impression back then, 2011, like 14 years ago, was that, culture really in Asia as well, in Asia, we tend to follow trends a lot more and we don't have that strong sort of personalization culture within our society as compared to the West. So I think back then, the big brands from US, they didn't cater that much to the Asian demographic just because probably through market research, it would show that, we're more of trend followers. But I think things have changed. The rise of Asian beauty just in the last 10 years has really grown and to the point where now, the Western markets are, following the Asian beauty standards. So I think I was just lucky to just have been in that intersection. And, as a guy, as a male who's not a user, I relied a lot on reading up reports on statistics because I'm not the actual customer. I relied a lot on studying. I've read a lot. I did a lot of research. And I think that's, how I came to that conclusion. And that's how I've been running the company as well, through a lot of data.
Okay. And today, Nail Deck is known for its wide range of customizable colors, ethical formulations, and thoughtful design. Tell us more about what Nail Deck is today. Is it a nail polish brand, a custom beauty platform, a retail experience, or a mix of all three?
It can be sometimes a bit confusing because we do so many things. It's 14 years of just my ideas going out there. I like to think of us as all three. So a brand, a experience, a community, but overarching, a lot of these things that we do and a lot of the initiatives that we launch. I think a fun brand is what I'm trying to portray, right? Overarching everything, it's got to be fun. I started it for fun and it's really guided the way I keep the company running. Through our social media posts, it's fun, it's spontaneous, and that's what nails are. I feel a lot of times, you put on something nice on your nails for fun. Of course, there are certain cases where you need to put it on for work, right? But I would say majority of the time it's for fun. So I use that as my guiding principle. And as a brand, I hope that eventually the legacy I leave behind is that it's a fun lifestyle brand. So nails is just the beginning. We're moving into workshops, moving into other areas, but using fun as the central figure, we can sort of expand into a lot of different things in the future.
Yeah, I just want to pinpoint on what you mentioned just there about workshops. Speaking of fun, beyond the products themselves, you also offer hands-on workshops and custom nail experiences. Tell us more about these. Who are they for and what can people expect when they attend one?
Yes, thanks. Yeah, so Nail Deck is really an extension of myself. I have been having fun creating colors. We've launched more than 1,000 colors with my team, so my team helps to do that as well. And all of us enjoy making these colors. And the workshops was, something that I wanted to share with people because, I imagined that if my team and I are having fun, I imagine other people would as well. It was unique. No one else was doing it in the market. And I thought, hey, we should bring this fun to the people as well. Through the workshops, we don't just let you mix your own colors. We do, of course, but there's a framework behind it because colors are not that easy to make. I think a lot of us can remember our childhood experiences of mixing paint together. And most of the time you get a sludgy brown that's not nice, right? So a lot of our workshop focuses, the first half of the workshop really focuses on color theory. And on top of that, I love to share about material science and chemical technology behind nail polish. Most of us wouldn't know that there's so much technology that goes into nail polish. And this is the geeky part of me that I really enjoy, learning about the technology behind it. And I love to share that during the workshops as well. I run most of it myself, so I will share that. And most people will be like, wow, like mind blown because never thought that this simple bottle of nail polish would have so much technology behind it. So sharing the chemical technology, sharing tips on how to create that perfect color is what we offer. And a lot of the guests who come, they either come for the fun aspect of it, they want to create duck egg yellow or something. They're very specific. It's very interesting as well, for them and for us to see, because they would come with really specific colors they want to create.
Yeah.
And then we have a whole other group of guests who come for team bonding, fun activity. We have a group of girlfriends who would just come in on a Sunday afternoon to bridesmaid parties, birthday parties. So again, just a fun experience for
Sounds
everybody.
very fun. I mean, choosing your own color and creating a color for yourself. I mean, whenever I go get my nails done, when they ask me what color I want, I'm just like, I don't know. But, sometimes if you do make your own color, maybe that is the way that you express yourself. I mean, Daryl, you're all about fun. You have this passion for colors. So I want to ask you something fun. If you could choose one color to describe yourself, what would it be and why?
Forest green.
Oh, why?
I love nature. I go to McRitchie Reservoir very, very often. I love the color green, especially a deep dark green. I have it on my nails right now. So, that's my favorite color.
Okay.
And I don't know, it just makes me feel happy when I see it. I'm sure there's a lot of science behind, looking at nature and feeling happy. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's nice to hear that your favorite color is green, because Money FM represents the color green as well.
Maybe that's why I like green
you're
as
fated
well.
to be here. You're in the right place. So, well, Daryl, I also want to talk about Lacquerland, which is your latest venture that brings the brand to life in a physical space. What is Lacquerland, and how does it expand on the Nail Deck mission of empowering individual expression?
Yeah. So Nail Deck has been for a very long time an online brand. And, as with online shopping, sometimes it's hard to see the colors through your screen because everyone's screen has different configurations. And being an online brand, a lot of what I try to portray can only be done through social media, which has its limitations. And Lacquerland is really my vision for where I want to take the brand into the future.
Okay.
Just so that, we can have that direct, physical connection with our guests. I personally like to have that physical connection with my customers as well. So Lacquerland is that, and it's meant to solve a lot of problems as well. Like you mentioned earlier, finding the perfect color when you go to a salon. So we're definitely going to want to add services in the future into Lacquerland as well. But we're going to do it in a very different way from any traditional nail salon that you've got out there, because that's how we've been operating. We've just always tried to be very different. So Lacquerland is kind of like our vision for that in the future. It's going to be a combination of a custom nail lab, a salon, a retail shop, even a little exhibition area to see how we create our custom colors, right? So it's going to be a whole experience. It's almost going to be not really a theme park, but Lacquerland kind of like flows from Disneyland. We're just trying to create this idea that it's a destination where you can, go and have fun, get your nails done, have a fun afternoon out with your friends and family.
Amazing. No wonder you've named it Lacquerland. Well, there's so many other nail polish brands already on the market. What makes people choose Nail Deck then? And what do your customers say about how the product makes them feel?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is the quality of our products, and educating our guests about the quality and delivering on that quality, right? So I think why our customers choose us is because it delivers the promise of a fun and easy manicure. A lot of times, the reason somebody tells me that they've never done their own nails before or gone to a nail salon is because they find it hard or difficult, or the experience is just not fun. It's smelly, it's difficult. So, we look at every aspect of the home manicure, right? All the way down to the brush. It's got to be something that's easy to use. The formula, we have odorless formulas. We have peelable gels. We have breathable nail polish, to cater to, every single person's need. I think our biggest sort of innovation and value proposition is our peelable gels. So that's the one where, you can actually do a gel manicure at home easily within, 10 minutes. And the best part is you can remove it easily as well, as opposed to, a gel manicure that you can get at the salon. So I think, it's just over the years of promising this value proposition of a fun and easy manicure, and then people trying it and actually realizing, oh yeah, it does what it promises to do. And on top of that, I think through social media again, just sort of educating a lot of people about the chemistry of nail polish, because there's a lot of misconceptions about manicure products out there, and we try to clarify a lot of that, so that gives us a lot of, I would think it gives us that credibility and that brand that people trust. And I think just sort of me as the founder being very available through social media. I still reply all the DMs, most of them by myself, and manage all these. So I think that availability of the founder is what helps a lot to make people trust the brand and realize that we are a reliable and high quality product.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, the first customer of Nail Deck is your wife. So what has your wife said about how much Nail Deck has grown over the past 14 years?
Oh, I should answer that when I get back. I think it's become so intertwined into our lives because, it was started when we were just dating, and we've got 2 kids now, so Nail Deck's just always been there, I don't know. I guess she's proud of me. I hope.
I'm sure she is, but you should ask her what she thinks about how much this has the Nail Deck has grown over the past few years. Well, before we let you go here, Daryl, what's next? Are you planning to expand into new markets, evolve your product line, or explore other forms of personalized beauty? What's next for Nail Deck?
Yeah, so I think geographical expansion is definitely one. We are still primarily concentrated in Singapore. We have some presence in Malaysia and Hong Kong. And I've been working on expanding to the Middle East just because I feel there's a gap in that market that we could fill. So geographical expansion of our existing products is definitely the first step. Legoland, moving into a physical retail space, that is another big challenge that I'm trying to tackle just because, rental and lease, these are not easy things to navigate as a small business. And lastly, I think we're going to be focusing a lot more on care products. So in about 1.5 months' time or 2 months' time, we'll be launching foot care products, pedicure products. So, we've been focusing a lot on manicures. We have hand creams and nail elixirs in the past. So we're going to be looking at solving foot problems now. Yeah, so cracked heels, fungal infections. I think as we, started out in more of the fun cosmetic side of things and, develop that relationship with our customers, we've also learned that, there are more problems that we can solve, because right now, the current situation is, even for most people, as if they have a fungal infection, they go to their nearest manicurist, which may not actually be able to recommend them the best products. So a lot of our products, we're working with an R&D lab, science-backed, R&D focused products that, we hope that can improve the lives of our customers.
Looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much, Daryl, for joining me today.
Thank you, Hongbin.
Thank you. That was Daryl Chew, founder of Nail Deck. This has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.